Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm listening to 100 albums in 100 days. For all the details on what I'm doing and why, check out the video pinned to my profile. Today I listened to the 1991 album BadMotorFinger from Soundgarden. I had never heard this before. I've heard their next album, Super Unknown. I'd heard that several times, but I've never heard this other than the two singles that they had on the radio and MTV, which were Outshined and Rusty Cage. I'd heard those, but nothing else. So with that said, there's that old saying that you have your entire life to write your first album, then you have 18 months to write your second one, which feeds into the idea of a sophomore slump, that a band's second album will always be not as good as their first because they didn't have as much time to do it. I feel like Soundgarden's their next album, Super Unknown, is better than this album, and I think that's because of Chris Cornell. He will always be one of my favorite voices in rock. I love the sound and the way he sings. But on this album, it seemed like a lot of times he was screaming and screeching. And it just got to be too much on a lot of songs. And I feel like on the next album, he really matures and grows as a singer, which may be why I like that album more than I like this one. That's not to say this is not a good album. This is a great album. It was hard to get into a lot of the songs because a lot of times he had two volumes off, and oh my God, I'm going to scream as loud as I can. And so it was hard for me to get into a lot of these songs. Besides Outshined and Rusty Cage, there was Looking With My Good Eye Closed, and then another one, A Room 1,000 Years Wide, or something like that. Those two songs I really liked, but it was just kind of hard for me to get into some of the rest of them because of Chris Cornell's voice. I will listen to Super Unknown forever because of the way he can croon sometimes. For a guy with a rock voice, he can really croon some of those songs, like Fell on Black Days, and he has a more mature voice on the next album. So this one was just kind of hit and miss for me. The band still sounds really good. I mean, the band is the band, but it was just kind of a miss for me. If you're a Soundgarden fan, let me know what you think between these two albums. If you like this one better, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. But other than those 2 or 3 songs, 4 songs, I probably wouldn't listen to this again. I would probably stick with Super Unknown as my favorite and the album from Soundgarden that I would listen to. So let me know your thoughts. If you've heard this, let me know. And if you haven't heard this, it's worth a listen to see what you think. So there you go.